Okay. So, hi everyone. Welcome to today's session on Pastiche Scenarios. So, this session is actually this method that we are going to talk about. It's a very playful method, and the way we are going to go about it is I'm just gonna I just have like few slides on it. So I'm just gonna, I think, talk about it for 10 minutes. Then for 15 minutes, we'll do an exercise individually on your pen and paper. You can do that exercise. And most of our time then we will spend on just debriefing of that exercise, what came out of that. Okay. So it's a very simple agenda. But my intent with sharing this one is because it's a very playful method. Also, not much is written about it on internet. There's just one white paper that exists about it, and that's about it. So just a way to for us to understand what this method is, and if you are designing a workshop, if you feel somewhere it fits for your audience, then you can use it, right? But and to demonstrate how to use it, we are just going to apply at our training offerings today. Okay. So with that, because more people are coming in, so I'm just taking some time to just keep talking before I formally introduce myself and then the presentation. So let them keep coming. But all those who just joined recently, welcome to you all as well. And again, if anybody wants to introduce themselves to the rest of the trainers, please feel free to do so. Asif is not here today, so somebody will have to take the mental on the talking part. Okay, more people coming in. Okay, so with uh, okay, so just let me give some more introduction in the meantime. So this method that we are going to talk about, Pastiche scenario, it comes from a field called design fiction. And design fiction is like a very fascinating field. Like you may have heard of design thinking, and design fiction falls under strategy and speculative design. So it's a sub part of something called speculative design, which is, I feel like, those who understand design thinking, it's kind of a next extension to all of this. So the method that we are going to follow is something from design fiction. And what is, okay, too much noise in my background. So what is design fiction? Design fiction is just a method of um, uh, thinking about your products and services by or just creating future worlds and imagining future worlds using fiction as one of the methods. Okay. So today's session is a little bit about fiction and storytelling. So those of you who have an overlap with storytelling, maybe you may use this session. We don't have Soham today because I would have loved to hear his take also. And does it fit somewhere in his drama thing as well? But yeah, if your practices lie somewhere around those spectrum of like imagination and storytelling, then this method may be useful. Okay, so with that, because now most of the folks are here, so let me formally get started with the session. I'll share my screen and we'll kick off. Like I said, just a 10-minute slide presentation and then a 15-minute exercise, and then it would be all of us in the room who will be doing the talking. So um, okay, so this is the method that we are going to work on today. It's called Pastiche Scenarios. And before we get into that, a bit about me. If you haven't met me yet, then I am in the previous sessions. Then here's my introduction. I'm Deepshikha. I am based out of Bangalore, and I conduct futures thinking workshops. So within futures thinking, there are two type of workshops I do. One is something called personal futures, or my journaling, or what I call journaling sessions, and which are good for leadership kind of trainings. And then the other one is innovation workshops, which I mostly get invited by the R&D departments of the corporates to conduct under their innovation week or around those time. And those are topics around future of whatever industry or sector. So this particular method falls under those innovation workshops. One of the methods that could be used under innovation workshops. So all the new people who are joining in, welcome. And we are just getting started with the presentation. So you have just missed some of the context, but not much. And I will check in with those who have recently joined in sometime, so that just to make sure everybody is on the same page. So don't feel like you've missed on anything, but we're just getting started with the presentation. Okay, and those of you who could be on camera, please try to be on camera so that because it's going to be a very interactive session. Okay, so this is the methodology that we are going to talk about today. And one second, for some reason, okay. Yes. So what exactly is pastiche scenario, right? So the word pastiche means stealing from one art form to another art form. Like, so it basically just means steal like an artist, right? So in this case, what pastiche scenario is about, you just take the fiction, you take inspiration from fiction for your product or service, right? Even if you're doing this session for a client or a customer, and you might you're just integrating, instead of talking about their customer, we are replacing it with a fictional character. So we are still going to talk about a future product or service, a current product or service, or an innovative product altogether. But instead of talking about their customer persona, we are actually going to draw inspiration from a fictional world and just use that as our inspiration to come up with, just talk about the product, right? So this is what Pastiche Scenarios is, just deriving one form of inspiration from others. And to give the credits where they are due, like I said, there's just only one white paper present on it on internet, and these are the authors who have written it. And also to give credit, I got to know about this method by attending a session by this company called Near Future Laboratory. And so they were talking about something about Pastiche Scenarios. I sometime during the COVID time, and I just joined towards the end of their session. And so this is my interpretation of how the method works based on what I attended and or what's written in the white paper. So the point of saying this is, like, if you Google it, you're not going to get much information unless you read that paper. and uh, and over here we'll cover it. So yeah, okay. And so basically, when do you, if you are applying it for in your facilitation method somewhere, where would you use it? Okay, you would use it where when somebody's coming with something very innovative, right? If somebody's coming with a business idea which is tried and tested, many people have done it. Like, let's say it's a co-working place, let's say it's a cafe, let's say it's another mobile phone. These things are already done, so you can go ahead and do design thinking for them and go ahead with that. But if they are coming with something super innovative, for which we don't know what type of market exists for that and those kind of things, then for them you may want to use this method to just get started talking about the product, just get started brainstorming about the product and think about what are the possible features that that product or service could be, and those kind of things. So when you are talking about something super innovative, you can use this method. You can also use this method with students and stuff, because this is a very simple method, right? So wherever you want to remove the complexity of a workshop or a method where you feel that it may be too complex for that audience, you may think about this method. So this method kind of could replace customer journey map or talking about the user persona and things like that, depending on the audience you are serving and what resistance you want to break down under them. So like I said, so it's a very simple method. Use it when you want to make it simpler for the audience. Okay. So just an example. So the paper talks about this example, like what if Apple was using this method for their iPod when they were coming up with iPods, right? So what if Apple, instead of thinking of a customer persona, they just thought of a real character, right? So who you are seeing on the screen is Bridget Jones, and it's a very erratic character, right? It's not a very eccentric character almost, right? Not a very not a cookie cutter one. Like, she has a lot of different peculiar things, right? And so you may want to pick a character who has all of these eccentricities around them, right? So what they imagined is like, okay, the paper imagined, not the company, right? So the paper imagines if they were using it like that, right? So they would think of this, they would first think of what are the characteristics of this character, right? This character has, she's status conscious, she earns well, she's a working woman, but she's also careless person, right? So if she was to be using, so they imagine like a train scenario where she's going on in a train somewhere, a local train somewhere, and then during because she's careless, first of all, most likely she'll forget to charge the battery. And maybe she will even leave, but while leaving, she may even leave the iPod there in the train itself, right? So then they came up with, so if they're using this method, then they can come up with brainstorming different features like, okay, how could they increase the battery life for those users who are a bit careless? And then how could they make sure that even if the device is stolen, what happens to their playlist, etc., so that they can still retrieve it? Okay, so these kind of things. Okay, and I'll pause now because I I think it's a simple method, and it's just this. It's just as simple as that. And what we will do next is one exercise where we will apply it to our own training offerings. Okay, but when before we get to that, I'll just pause now and just listen. How's that landing so far? And of course, if there may be some doubts, once we apply it, only then it will become clearer. But just thoughts, questions, reflections, whatever at this point. Are you excited to try it out on your offering? Or are you excited to apply it for your audience? And if so, where do you think for your offering this may fit for where might you apply a method like this? And you, of course, you'll get to know what the exact method is by applying it step by step. But still, just from whatever you have heard, what are you sensing? Whoever would like to say. And feel free to ramble. Yeah. Yes, Sripada, go for it.
What I understand is we are trying to imagine a character, and then based on that we are going to design a practice. What I understand, right?
Yes, what we are doing is we are taking a ready-made character instead of creating a user persona, an archetype, or a user customer journey map or any of these things. We are just taking one of the famous character and then we are applying it to any product or service that we want to think about. It could be our own or the clients. And we're just gonna see like how does the story unfold when this character uses this product.
I can possibly half of it. Like trying to imagine a character when I'm actually doing it. Oh, I was talking to this one of the trainers, and they are giving me this idea. When we are into SWOT analysis for the students, so it is very difficult for them to talk about their weakness.
Yes.
So what we do is we imagine that this is an XYZ character. It is their own, but it's some random character. And
Yeah.
then we talk about their weaknesses. Now, why I said half is imagining the character is the first part of this concept. So, however, they don't have a product or service to design.
Yeah.
But what they design is their own weaknesses. So I said we use half of it.
Ah, right, right. And Shripata, if you want to play along, like, so what do you think are the benefits of using it, like externalizing it through that character? What are the
I
benefits you
think
see?
nothing
Yeah.
comes to me right there. Nothing
First.
comes to me. If I want to talk about my weaknesses, I may be a little bit shy. But if
Yeah.
I'm putting out, okay, this is the character and this called XYZ, and this person thinks very highly about himself or herself whatsoever. So
Yeah.
it is very easy
Yeah.
to talk about someone else.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, that's such a great benefit. And also, this is one of the things I want us to practice it on our own products because, of course, whenever we are asked to do intro in these sessions, most of us are tongue-tied. We don't introduce our product that much. So let's just talk about our product in a different lens today and see what comes out of that. Yeah, thank you so much for sharing that, Shupada. Beautiful.
And actually, I'm thankful to one of the trainer. I'm so sorry I forgot her name. So I called her up before her training, and she told me all this that she's already using this.
Oh,
So I
really?
could just relate. Now what I can do is I can actually name what the activity is with the name that you just.
Yes,
Thank you so
lovely.
much.
Oh, I'm glad to know somebody else is already using it. Yeah, once you remember the name, let me know.
Sure.
Awesome. Okay, let's hear from Tanushri. Tanushri, go for it. Yes.
No, I just wanted to understand that how will this help in because see, I understand this is very effective and what Shripada just shared. I mean, sorry, Shripada or Shreya just shared. It was very interesting. However, my question is that every person would not be that free to express. So even if I'm putting it as a character,
Yeah.
okay, people are very smart nowadays. Okay, specifically if I'm talking about somebody who's in a senior position, or I'm talking about the Gen Zs, both the different structure, but
Spectrum.
they both are smart there.
Huh.
They have that understanding that if I speak about this, I know my character is going to be revealed, and they might not speak. So how do you bridge that gap in this?
So let's see. Let's see by doing this exercise ourselves. And
Can
I
I
want,
answer this?
please go, Shakripada, go for it. Yeah.
Ma'am, thank you for the question, and the query is genuine. Right now, it depends upon the kind of audience that you have. The audience that I have right now are students. If they don't tell me their weakness, I will not be able to help them how to put it across in an interview. So, more than me judging, they are receiving a help when being genuine. In terms of employees, I'll tell you the example that I've thought of. There was a company, I don't know its name, I'm very bad at names, I'm so sorry. So the manager used to say, when you are talking about what product to design, when you are in a boardroom, just imagine there's a customer sitting. There's a one vacant chair he used to keep. He used to say, just imagine that there's a customer sitting. Now you discuss what kind of product or service you want to design. This is how it functions.
Yeah. So what I would add further to that is like, okay, let's keep that question in our mind and let's see for ourselves. Let's do this exercise now on ourselves, and let's see what are the hesitations, or what are the like how many of us ended up feeling more expressive because of it, or about our own offerings, and how many of us still felt the hesitation to not express it. And then we can diagnose like what could we do better to, does it address it or not, or is there a different method that would address it better, or what could be done better to how could we adapt this to make sure people are still expressing. Because yes, one of the objective of doing this is like so that people start expressing better, right? So does it do that or not? Let's try it on ourselves, and we'll come back to this question again. But also, Shipata, what you shared also, yeah, that makes a lot of sense again, in terms of, yeah, let's see if it actually does what it
I
promised.
tell you, the question Pam asked is very valid. If
Yeah,
I don't want to reveal myself to my teammates
but
and I don't want
yeah.
to give out my weaknesses, that is the best thing. Why should I? Right now, if I say, I'm very scared, I'm a bit scared to talk in front of you, I'm not that confident, you'll get to know by default. Right now, if I don't tell you, maybe you'll pass it. So, question is also right. So, it would depend on the audience
We
and
see,
what kind
let's
of help
see.
that is being
I
provided.
still want to come back to this question after we finish it, and take this question again. And let's see what comes up around that time. And but in this exercise, we're not gonna really talk about the yourself so much. You're going to talk about your. Somebody needs to be muted. Okay. But yeah, we're going to talk about your offering more rather than yourself. So let's see. Let's do the exercise and let's come back to this question. Okay. So everybody get your pen and paper. And when you're doing this exercise as a facilitator for others, you may want to do it in groups. So normally if I'm doing it online, I make breakout rooms and send people to Miro boards, and they do this exercise on the Miro board as a team. As a team activity, it is a lot of fun. Right now we are going to do individually just to get a hang of it, each of us, so that we get a like so because we are learning the methods just yet, right? So that we have our questions as a facilitator on how we ourselves will facilitate it. So each one of us will do it ourselves, and I will just tell you one step at a time. So first, I just want you to write down what is the offering. What is, just for yourself, just scribble down what are your training offerings, and if you have multiple, which is the one offering for which you want to think about this, right? So you may want to write, let's say, soft skills training, and then write 2-3 characteristics about this soft skills training, whatever are your USPs or however you want to. Just, it's for your own reference, right? You're just writing down, okay, what is your offering? And so I'm just gonna give you like few seconds to just scribble down what is the one offering you want to brainstorm around, which is your existing offering, or it could be a future offering that you're thinking of. That's also fine. In fact, you'll get more ideas if you're thinking of a future offering. And yeah, just write it down, and just 2-3 bullet points about that, just for it to be top of mind for yourself. Okay. And sorry, by the when I share the screen, I can't see any of you guys, so if anybody has any questions, reactions, just unmute and say. Okay.
Ikshika?
Hmm.
Yes.
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Sorry for my background. Characteristics is the benefit, benefits, advantage, disadvantage, or objective, or how it benefits.
We will come to the all the rest of the things in a bit. The characters and stuff is what you asked, right?
Yes. What
Yeah.
is it
So we'll come
exactly
to the
means?
character in a bit. First, just write down your offering, and I'll answer that in a bit. Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Just
We
scribble
can
down
do.
on
Okay. Okay.
top. Just scribble down what is your offering. Okay, and 2-3
Okay.
characteristics about your offering. Okay, future offering or current offering. Okay.
Yeah,
Whichever.
that is I want to know what is characteristics does mean here.
Sorry.
What is characteristics does mean here?
Character. Yeah, we'll come to the character. First, you're thinking about only your
Characteristics, no?
characteristics
You
of your
mentioned.
offering. Oh, yes. So you just,
Uh-huh.
it is something you are just scribbling down for yourself. Like, what are the top 3 things in general you think about your offering, right? So if it is a leadership training session, maybe you write about, it's just for your reference, right? So, so many clients conduct it for. Usually, this is the first one quality I get praised for, like my empathetic nature or whatever I get praised for or get the feedback for, and something else, right? It's just for your reference. It will just come handy when you're thinking about a story about your offering. So whatever things top of mind, top 3 things that come to your mind about your offering, just write it down. Doesn't have to be specific. Anyways, you'll think about it deeper later.
Okay. Thank you, Deepthi.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks for asking. Okay, just few seconds for that. And in the meantime, I'll just answer one of the chat things that had come up. And Rakesh had said, can it be used as an intro exercise? Yes, Rakesh, it can just serve as like a fun energizer before you do some other activity, right? Just for them to start opening up. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes, we will have the recording for it. Yeah. Okay, I'm assuming everybody has written their offering. Now, the next thing that we come to is, this is the interesting part. So I'll give you a few minutes for that. Now think of any character, and it's a fictional character, right? That will be using your offering. Like that is the audience for your offering, right? So you don't have to, again, so if you do it for managers, or if you do for like pharmaceutical clients, if you do it for like, just come up with a character rather than a actual user, right? So if it is for managers, like pick some persona which kind of resonates with that, right? Or if it is for students, like you may pick, let's say, Hermione Granger, right? Or so the fictional character could be Bollywood movies, Hollywood movies, any cinema. It could be serials, not just or TV series. It just doesn't have to be from movies itself. It could be a character from a book you have read, but it has to be a character, right? So you're not going to design for Shah Rukh Khan, but you can design for Raj. Okay, you can design for Munna Bhai. You can design for um, what are some other? So you want to pick a very eccentric character, though, right? Like someone who's very peculiar. So just think of who is the character, and there are some examples over there, but you don't have to take it from here. But you can think from well-known TV series, well-known movies, from any cinema, and whoever. And it doesn't. So last time when I did this exercise, I did it for like I wanted people to understand the future implication of like some of the upcoming technologies, right? So somebody used Joker and uh, pets. What are those called? Those robotic pets that are coming together, right? So the product I had given them was robotic pets, among other options. And then so somebody used Joker, which feels lonely and is using that product. So it feels like a unlikely combination. So even for your product, you can choose someone who's very unlikely to use it, but maybe is forced to use it or misuses it, and maybe some story will come out of it. Okay, so just think of whoever is coming to your mind, right? It could be Rancho, it could be who are the other characters, very peculiar ones, right? It could be Akash from Dil Chahta Hai, or any of those things, right? So don't choose the actor, choose a character, and I'll give you a few minutes to just think about it. Who's the character using your, who's going to use your offering for today's session?
So, Deepshika, though I joined late, so
Hi,
whatever
Getanjali.
I could,
Yeah,
hi.
yeah,
So whatever I could understand from whatever you described right now,
yes,
let's say if I choose my offering as posh training.
yes, yeah.
So, should I take a character like of Bhuvan from Lagan, who was serious and would stand up for the rights and all, or should I pick up some character who's not so serious about it? What is that? Should I pick?
So it is going to be your story after a while. Is basically what you're going to do is, once you've selected the character, you're going to just create a story, and you don't know what that story is going to look like. That's where the aha moment will come,
Hmm.
the surprise element will come. But again, it could be any character at all, right? Even like it could be a very serious, like it could be a character who's using your offering, or it could be a character who got impacted, and then we are talking about the benefits of it. So you're just gonna, it could be anyone. So don't think too much, because you also don't know how the story will unfold. But so use it as a brainstorming tool, right? Whoever you pick, like how could that thing make you think slightly differently about your offering, right? So you don't want to be like too obvious about your character either. Because then probably some unusual insight might not come. So just pick anybody who's coming at the top of your mind, and we'll
Okay.
see how the story unfolds. Okay?
Okay, great.
Awesome. Awesome. Anupama, go for it.
Should that be a fictional character or like from real life situations that we can take that?
Fictional would be better, because fictional, uh, if you're doing it for some like for as a facilitation method, then what it helps with other audience also to get a good understanding of your product or service, by because they know that character's world. So you suddenly understand, okay, in that world, how is this being used, how is your product or service. So it becomes very easy to communicate your idea to others, because they know that character as well, right? So you also want to pick a fictional character who's very famous and others know about it. So, and also for your own thinking, instead of taking a person from your real life, you may want to take a famous character, so that others understand that world, right? One of the other advantages that happens is, like if you pick like a character from a magical world or something, right? Let's say a Disney princess or someone, right? So they may use your offering in their magical world in a different way, and it just gives you some new insights. It's just, so all that we are doing is, maybe we won't even come up with any new insight, but maybe we'll come up with something fascinating, which our right brain, left, or the logical brain, left brain would not have thought of, right? We're just putting ourselves in just a situation to just look at our own offering from a, just giving a time and space to look at our own offering from a different lens, and see if something fascinating comes out of it, which I can implement. And if not, at least I get to talk about my offering in this room in a different way. That's all. That's all is the objective for today's session. Okay. So
Alright.
just pick up fiction character. Yeah. Awesome. So a few more minutes, pick your character, and yeah. Okay. And if you got it, just one more prompt, and then we'll start listening to others. That's when it's going to be exciting. And after that, we have one story writing exercise. But once you have written the fictional character, again, just write 2, 3 things about that character. Like, what are the peculiar things about that character, right? So if you're talking about Rachel Green, selfish, materialistic, but very great style and great personality, whatever, right? If you're talking about Raj, again, shy, whatever, right? So just 2, 3 words that come to you. Again, that will just help you build your story later, and you don't have to be fully exhaustive. Some other characteristics will come to your mind later, but yeah, just write it down. And all those people who are just joining in and who didn't get to hear the whole instruction, don't worry. You'll start, once you start hearing others, you'll start get a hang of what we are doing here. So even if you miss the instructions, there's going to be the recording that will be available, so you'll get to hear it later. But for now, just chill and just listen to what others are gonna say. And it's a very simple exercise, so you'll get a hang of it very soon. Okay, so just a few seconds for you to write down some of the characteristics of the character you've chosen. Okay. Okay. So like I said, we have one exercise which we'll do after this, which is the main exercise of coming up with the story with that character. But so far, let's just hear a few people. What is the offering you have? What is the character you picked? Just that, very rapid fire kind of way. Go for it, guys. Don't be shy at this point. Whatever you got. Yes, Shripata, go for it.
What I offer is assertive thinking and communication. And the character that I have taken is Karna from Mahabharata.
Oh my God. Oh shit. Wow. This is gonna be so much fun. Wow. Already, yeah. Lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Okay, who else? Otherwise, Shripata, you can popcorn somebody. If we put
What's
somebody
the
on.
character again?
Shripata, she's asking the character again. So yeah, she said Karn from Mahabharat for assertive thinking. Awesome. But yeah, who would like to go? Otherwise, Shripata, just feel free to put somebody on spot. Sorry, I'm making you the villain.
Maybe Tanushree.
Yes, Tanushri, go for it. What is your offering and character?
That would be the Avatar.
Huh? And your offering is?
My offering is executive presence.
Oh my God, this is fun. Okay, Tanushri, please popcorn somebody. Who would you like
I
to
would,
go next?
I would like to
Yes, Neelam.
tell my
Yes,
offering.
yes,
Actually, my offering is one of the soft skills, that is communication skill.
yes.
And for that, the character that I have chosen is Gajini.
My God, fun. Good.
Communication skill,
Everybody's so creative.
the person forgets everything and then is very eccentric and is aggressive also.
Yes. Lovely. I can't wait to see what comes out of it. Awesome. Neelam, you want to popcorn somebody?
Okay, just let me see.
Yeah.
Anjali, maybe?
Yeah, Anjali, go for it if you're there. Okay. Probably not. Let's hear from Rakesh. Rakesh, you want to share? Okay. Probably not there. Okay. Who else? Not sure if yeah. Rahul, you want to share? Maybe one last share. Whoever would like to go.
I don't know. Maybe if it is.
Yes,
It
Geeta.
is. It is Posh, and the character is Charlie Chaplin. Oh, so I have to pick a character. Again, I don't know the name. Never it comes.
No, Charlie Chaplin is the character. Yeah, like yeah, both the real and yeah, Charlie Chaplin. Okay, let's go with that. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, and Shreya, you had your hand raised. Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, so my offering was business communication. Actually, I had written four:
Huh.
business communication, podcast, placements, and spoken English.
Yeah.
So these were my offerings, and the character that I had chose for business communication was Shri Devi from English to English.
Yes. Lovely. Lovely.
Yeah, and the reason for it was because she had already learned the language right from scratch. She was already an entrepreneur, and this would have helped her enhance her persona altogether.
Lovely. Lovely. Let's see what comes up. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Everybody, you are being so creative. I love how quickly you're being.
Yeah, and just a thing with podcast, I think if she is doing business communication and if I have her on my podcast, I think this is definitely going to help her showcase her services and her story. Moreover, inspire women like her.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So for the purpose of today's session, I would have normally said like just pick one of the offering and do that. But if it's up to you, it's your story. If both the offerings club together somewhere, it's all right. I think it's gonna be fun. And let's see what insights come out of it. Okay. So everybody, yeah, that's the next exercise. So you have to now tell the story of your this character using your offering, uh, or this character and this your offering, right? Tell it in 6 frames, right? And you know what a story is, right? It has something, some challenge that comes up, and at some point it gets resolved, right? So just in 6 frames, you tell your story. In your notebook, you can just create these 6 frames, and you can scribble with the character, right? So this character can be interacting with somebody else. There could be dialogues, or it could, or you can describe the situation, the scene they are in, right? So just go full on with your creativity, whatever comes, but just try to tell your story within 6 frames. Okay. So you have like 4 minutes to do that. Okay. And at any point, if anybody has any doubt, just unmute and let me know. Okay. But the story might not come right away, right? Just what the story is. Initially, maybe some very obvious ideas will come, and then just when you give it some more time, then that's when it will start flowing. So give it time. Let it be awkward in the beginning, and let your ideas be awkward in the beginning, and then it will flow. Okay. So 4 minutes, go for it, and unmute anytime if you have questions. Okay.
Deepshika, I did not understand what has to be done.
Yes. So now you're going to tell a story. And so consider it is like a storyboarding exercise. These are your 6 frames in which you are storyboarding it, right? So how does storyboarding look like? You basically, it tells a story, and there are characters. So in this case, you're just going to tell a story of, so in this case, Sridevi from is using from that movie is using your this product, right? And you're just going to come up with a story of how it looks like, right? So maybe you're going to tell the situation. How does she maybe came across your podcast or whatever? Did she apply, however? And then how maybe when she's being interviewed, how does it look like? What was like a like what was like a rough spot or a challenge or a climax that you have in your story, and how does it get resolved, right? So just basically you're just imagining your product and that character and whatever unfolds. So whatever, however the scenes unfold. So there are 6 scenes. You have to tell the story in that 6 scenes, right? So somebody's story would be about the character using it. Somebody else's story would be about just them discovering it, and some misuse happening, or yeah, it could be anything. So you don't know how your story will play out. Just think
Dipshika,
of, huh.
can I give an example like what I have just done?
Uh,
Everybody knows Avatar, right? So, and I'm just
go for
giving
it.
it because I need to. I have another meeting, so I will just. I just wanted to take this up. So when you say that storyline, so I don't understand the storyline out here. How do I create this? But what I have in my mind here is there's a famous dialogue that they always do. You know, I see you. From my avatar's point of view. So my first frame is about I see you. Second frame goes so do I.
Okay, keep going.
Third frame is talking about vibes, what the vibes come from both the parties, like I see you, so do I, so how the vibes are matching or not matching. Then the fourth scene talks about the connect or the bond that they are trying to build. So whether it is building or not building, and why it is not building. The fifth frame talks about reframing the initial conversation. How do you open the conversation, or how do you see yourself or the other person? And that is where the last and the final frame talks about the desired impression, or the desired profiling that you want for yourself to happen. How do you phrase your communication in a way that your presence goes in the right manner? This is
Okay.
what I have built.
So in this case, where at what point does your product comes in, like your offering comes in? I'm assuming then to like from what I heard, the last frame is basically it's almost like an advertisement for your frame, for your offering. Is that the case?
Correct. Executive presence.
Okay.
That's exactly what
Okay.
I'm doing.
Yeah, so it could be one of that case, right? It could be an like it builds up to why you need executive presence, like it's all building up to that. But it could also be like this person is using is she's sitting in your classroom or doing something, and then how the story unfolds. So it could be either way, right? I don't deliberately want, like I had thought of like giving a prompt for each frame earlier, but I deliberately don't want to restrict us in one format only. So I wanted to keep your story very open. Just think about just think about this persona and your offering, and just see how it plays out, right? So it could be any way, and I deliberately want to keep it open ended, and then try to fit it in these 6 frames. Like come up with the outline of the story, and then fit it in 6 frames, and just try to see what are the dialogues, what are the scene description, what's happening, how is it flowing. Okay, how's your scene flowing in 6 frames? It's one scene only. Okay, cool. And thank you, Tanushree, for sharing that. Even that is a very good example, right? It could come like it could demonstrate why is, but yeah, you explained it in quickly, but yeah, then you may want to go deeper into each of these, what exactly was happening. Okay, so everybody 4 minutes and go for it. And let there be few doubts when you are initially coming up with the story. It will flow in a bit. Just think about it. You are there in that story. You could also be there in the story. And who else this character may be interacting with? There could be other people around them. How does your, just imagine your offering. How do you normally conduct? And if this person was sitting there? No worries, Karen. Bye bye. Does the story need to include our offering? Yes. It would be best if it is mainly about the interplay between the offering and the character. So yeah, Neelam, yeah, include your offering in it. Yeah, the name of the activity. I'll bring you. Okay. Are we ready to share or do we need more time? Done, Shripada? How about others? Any thumbs up or if you need more time? Shreya?
Hi, Deepshika.
Yes. Yeah. Hi, Sneha.
Right. Right now I reached office, and so may I share, or yeah, we are waiting
Please.
for some time?
Let's get into the sharing part. Yes.
Am I completely audible?
Yes, you are. Yeah.
Okay. So actually, Deepshika, in start, I was finding it difficult to how I can, the character and the product can connect. But somehow I connected it.
Yeah.
There are, and yes, there are two offering which I am just, I don't have completely head and tail.
Yeah.
It is just like I'm thinking. I have little bit idea about.
Yeah.
The one is faculty development program.
Yes.
Or how to engage the disengaged student, or how to, the classroom engagement.
Yes.
Because recently when I conducted the FDP, the faculties were complaining the students are not paying attention in the class. So first thing. And second thing, which is coming in my mind is BEI, behavioral event interview. I hope you attended the Tanvi session. So it is related to that. So it is like a behavioral event interview. It's about interview skill, but in a different way. The traditional way, it is very different way. So my customer avatar came from one movie only. That is, one is Virus from Three Idiots and the Rancho from Three Idiots.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah, so FDP I'm going to sell to the IIT, that is Virus, and the whole IIT faculties, that how they can make the classroom more engaging.
Yeah.
By using some techniques, right?
Right.
So for this FDP, I got this avatar.
Yeah.
And the second thing for BEI, just that is Rancho, Rancho was not degree oriented. He was a skill oriented person. Yeah. So suppose he had started his own innovative tech company, and he want the person who even don't have degree or who are dropout, it is fine, but they have to showcase their skill. And for that is how I'm going to teach him how to take the behavioral event interview, and so that he can get the right person for the right job. Even if they don't have any degree or qualification, or they are dropout, but still it will make sure that he's getting the more practical and innovative person in his company, like he is.
Perfect. Perfect. So Sneha, now when you tell the story, try to tell it in 1 minute and just pick one of those, either one, and tell us the whole story, but in 1 minute.
Okay. So it is, I can understand. Sorry, I taken long time.
No, you did. That was good. No, I think everybody was nodding. Like there's a lot on both the sides that one can hear. Yeah, just to hear more from more people. Yes, go for it. Sneha, so you can share your story. One of the stories. Okay, did I lose you? Okay, are others able to hear Sneha? Okay, Sneha, we lost you for a bit. I'll circle back. Okay, whoever would like to go next. And this is the time to talk about your offering. So, yeah, go for it. Shripata, go for it. Yeah.
So there is my character Karna, who is very talented, very snap.
Yes.
That's the first frame. The second frame talks about he is always in his self-doubt.
Sorry, I think I got disconnected.
Yes, Sneha. Okay, go for it now. Okay, so Shripata, let's come back to you.
Yeah, just I will take 30 seconds. It is like I met the Rencho in a tech event, and we connected, we networked, and he shared his problem with me that he want to start the tech company, but he's want innovative people, even if but he don't know, because only looking at the qualification, it is not possible to hire people and don't come to know that they are they're really innovative, or it is just like they're faking. So I given him the solution. I offered his my product of behavioral event interview. He liked the idea. Then I taken the session. I conducted the training for him and for his team also. And that is how they hired the very right people for the right job, which is matching the values of their company.
Oh, lovely.
So that's all about my story.
That is so good. And we'll dig deeper into the debriefing part of it in a bit. But Sneha, that was good. How do you like it? How did
I
you?
really liked it because
Yes.
in start I was literally unable to think like, yeah, what is going on? I am not
Yeah.
able to connect.
Yeah.
But somehow, slowly, I started to connect
Yes.
because I am even not a movie person.
Yeah.
So it was very difficult for me, but somehow I did it.
Yes. And there's whatever you just shared, there's just so much of more insight in it
Ah,
that is practically applicable. So we'll dig into it after completing this round. So we'll circle back.
sure.
Yes.
Done.
Yes.
Done.
Okay. Shripada, go for it.
Uh, Frame number one, Mr. Karan.
Yes.
Very talented, well-known personality. Frame two, he feels many times into self-doubt. Uh, because he is not being given the due appreciation. Although he's very good, but there are other people who are pleased. So he always questions himself about his burden.
Hey, Shraddha, I think you have a noise at the background. We're not able to hear.
Okay. So I will faculty to. Am I audible now?
Yeah, the noise is there, but I think we can make out. It's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think it'll be better.
Yeah, better now.
So the second frame understood the person is in self-doubt. First, he's very confident, good. Second frame, he's in self-doubt because of his birth and they're not appreciating him and he's other people are being appreciated. For example, Mr. Ashosh. Then I come into the picture where Karna and I meet and I talk about the assertive thinking, the assertive communication. I talk about the circle of control and the art of letting go. Then, in the fourth frame, is his thought process shift. So all his doubts gets converted into whether he can control and confidence or assertiveness. Fifth frame, he is seen forgiving everybody. He is seen helping Duryodhana to convert his negative thoughts into positive, of avenge into say forgiveness or accommodating other people. And the last frame, which is I wanted all my life, is to see Karna being a king and happily taking over his kingdom.
Yeah. Wow. How does this make you feel, Shripada, doing this?
Absolutely fixed.
Right.
Absolutely. I think if there is anybody in problem and if I can help, that is a great thing. Some thought process shift. Like I personally believe if Duryodhana would not have been spoiled by his Mamaji, the Mahabharata would not have happened. So people need guidance how to assertively think about it.
Yeah. So yeah, like what your story really highlighted is like just so much of impact it has. Like, right? The level of impact of what you're delivering, right? It just grounds it in so much because it just could have, like you said, it could have changed the history. And we don't want to take
And
that,
also
right?
currently, ma'am, like I shared in the last session also, there's a suicide that happened in our college.
Shripada, but I'll stop you right now, just so that we can share more people, right?
Sure.
Awesome. Okay. Neelam, do you want to go?
Yes.
Yes.
I will try my best.
Yes. Perfect.
Since my character was Gajini,
Yes.
so Gajini goes for an interview. And when he reaches the place where he has to be interviewed, he is waiting at the reception. And there are other people also who are waiting for the interview. And somebody notices that this person, Gajini, is forgetting everything. He keeps on asking, when is my interview? What exactly, how much do I have to wait? So there is the second frame is that there is a soft skill trainer sitting there. So he notices that this person is in trouble and he keeps forgetting things. He's asking the same question again and again. So this finishes the second frame. The third frame, the person, the trainer comes to Gajini and he tells that don't be under stress. And there's a way how you communicate and don't forget things. There is a process that you pause, think, and then speak. And there's a fourth frame that he also tells him the art of doing repetitive things so that your memory is reset. He explains him that if you repeat something again and again, you will not forget it. And he helps him with his introduction, that who he is. After looking at his resume, whatever is written there, he makes him repeat introduction about himself and a few more things, what are probable questions in the interview. And then Gajini goes inside and he performs well and he wins and he comes out. This is what I
Lovely.
could think.
Lovely. And how did this make you feel doing this exercise, Neelam?
I'm feeling good. First of all, I was feeling lost that
Yeah.
how can I help a person who is so forgetful?
Yeah. See,
Made
picking a
one or
tough
two-
character is helpful, right? Yeah.
Yeah, because for communication skill, I have chosen a character who is forgetful.
Yeah.
So even I was struggling. I made one story, then I asked you a question that do I need to include my, because I made a very interesting story, but I did not include my offerings. Then you said that it will be good if you can include your offerings.
Yeah.
So again, I made this story and I think I've done a decent job.
You have done a good job, and you like once we get to the next slide, that's when we'll realize, oh my God, how much of depth you have already touched in just these few seconds of what you described. All three of you, what you have shared so far, like there's just a lot already. So I'm looking forward to when we start digging it. But let's hear more stories. I think this it's also so exciting to hear everybody's story, right? So maybe more stories. Definitely those who had shared, but before that, I also wanted to check in with those who haven't shared so far. Please feel free to do so. Swapnil, if you're there, Rakesh, Preeti, Yogesh, Asra, Anupama, Shweta, Rahul, anybody. Maybe just few seconds of pause if anybody who hasn't shared so far want to share. Otherwise, I'll circle back to those who have who are remaining. Go for it, guys. If you are there, just share whatever. Yogesh, you are there. Okay, Rahul is saying he's outside, but Yogesh, do you want to share?
I think Yogesh too can share because he have lots of character. He's like one person. So
Asa.
Yogesh, definitely you go with it.
Yes, Yogesh, go for it. Okay, we can't hear you. Okay. Maybe that's why you are not sharing. Okay. Swapnil, in case you have unmuted. Yogesh, we can't hear you in case you're talking. Okay. And then, yes, Anjali.
Yeah, hi,
Yeah.
Deepshika. This is
Okay, first Anjali and then Yogesh. Yes. Mhm.
okay. So I had picked the character of Geet from Jab We
Yes,
Met.
good
So
one. Very eccentric. Yeah.
she was very vulnerable, like overconfident when she started. But then, I met her in an event when, like, she was already heartbroken. So I helped her to come out of that with my emotional intelligence and leadership skills offering. And later on, even a bit of emotional touch also, wherein she was in self-doubt. So I helped her to come out of it. And then with the offerings, and later on, she became a confident lady. And she also started her training offerings, wherein like reinvention, wherein she taught like the heartbroken or whatever, people with setbacks to come out of it with the reinvent tool.
Lovely. Again, you've said very powerful things over there, and we will circle back. So let's do one thing, everybody. Oh, yeah, we had to hear from Yogesh. Yes, Yogesh, go for it.
Yeah, so I thought of I use theater as a tool to facilitate learning.
Yes.
So I thought I would meet a real life character, Rahul Gandhi, and tell him that how he can act well in public, so that his image and persona change, and he can be a strong competitor in the current political regime where it's one-sided vote flow these days. So, but how we can change and improve on his public image, because until 2014 he was all fine, but that one interview with Arnab kind of changed his image drastically, and how he can rework and become a better actor in public.
Lovely. Nice. That was also good. Okay. So what we'll do is I'll move to the next slide and we'll go deeper into this. I am aware we haven't heard from Shreya and Gitanjali who had shared earlier. So it'll be good to hear their stories, but let's move to the next slide. And then Shreya, Gitanjali, if you want to share first on that, and then the rest of the folks, we can go about it. But I just love all the depth. Even Yogesh, you have you just took barely few seconds to describe it, but yeah, there was just so much of insight within it. Hopefully, I want to hear now if we are able to get into those insights. Just give me a second because something happened to my slides. Okay, let me just reshare. Okay, in the meantime, okay, let's go for it. Okay, so my question now is okay, so this is our story. This is the activity which just happened, right? Now we are looking into deeper reflections about this, right? So those who have shared, and Shreya, Gitanjali, and others, and actually open for everybody, right? When you did this exercise, now let's get into the debriefing of it, right? So what are you realizing about your customer because of this exercise? What is the new realization you have? Or it could be, so you could answer any of these questions, whatever is standing out for you, right? Is there a new realization about your customer because of this? Is there a new realization about your own offering? What part of your offering probably resonated most for you within the story, and then what feels missing? I would skip the last two questions. Just tell me what are the new realizations you had while you did this exercise about your customer or about your offering. Okay. And now I can't see the videos screen. I could only see my PPT. So please just, yes, Preeti, go for it.
Uh, okay, so is it someone is going first, or can I add, Deepshika?
Yes, you can add Sneha, and then we will go to Preeti. Yes, Sneha, go for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, in short, I will say, what did make you realize about your customer? So it is like, Deepshika, I realized there is a demand for what I'm thinking to do, that is BEI, that is offering to the Rancho.
Yeah.
Because nowadays, many people are just going with Chat GPT, but who have real skill and who have real innovation. For this thing, I think this offering will help to the companies, definitely. And the second thing, my offering, regarding my offering, so it is the same thing, that it has the potential to transform the companies and organization. So I think I can do research. I can go with it. I was in a confusion that how it will work, but I think I can put more time into research into this, and then I decide before just rejecting it or just deciding it.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, and what your story also highlights is this really frustrated segment who are actually very innovative, and they are very frustrated with the quality of it. So maybe that insight that your story brought could be in your messaging and positioning in terms of addressing those who are frustrated with the mediocre quality of individuals.
Yes.
Right? So it solves such a big problem.
Because Deepshika, we are moving into gig economy. So in gig economy, and we are also living in the AI world. So, most of the people, it is just you put the question, you will get the answer, you go to interview, you are clear. But then what about real innovation, right? What about real creative thinking, who is not AI generated? So for this thing, I think this kind of interview can help, that how much you are using your brain.
Definitely.
And not faking it out.
Yes, and you should.
And what...
yeah, sorry, continue.
No, it is just like what I felt missing. So it is like I have to give it the structure. I don't have any structure or any idea about what is exactly BE. Means I have just only 1% idea about BI. So there is a lot of thing I have to work upon. That's it.
Yeah.
And I have to check with real person.
Yes, and whatever you just said, you could also even transcribe it and start talking because you said it with a lot of conviction, right? Gig economy and all of those things.
Right.
That could be part of the narrative you're telling them. Yeah, I love that. I love that. See, all the thoughts flow so easily when we go this way, right? Yeah, lovely, Sneha.
Yeah, thank you, Deepshika.
Thank you. Awesome. Okay, let's hear from Preeti.
Hi, Deepshika.
Hi, Preeti.
So, since I didn't speak till now and didn't share, I'll go first with the initial questions of yours. So, my offering is POSH training, the complete POSH compliances training included in it, along with that labor laws training and consultancy. Okay. So, going with this, my choice of character was from the web series Suits. And in that, I chose the managing partner,
Yeah,
Jessica
Jessica.
Pearson.
Yeah.
And I sort of related with her a character in terms of being a very strong woman,
Yeah.
uh, being able to tackle a lot of situations on one hand, personalities on the other hand, because in the whole Suits one, you have really eccentric people and the really strong lawyers who are who are really good in their job and hence have an overconfidence also kinds, right? So I looked at that one, and the situation or the story or the narrative that I thought of was that one situation A, where Jessica herself goes through a posh incident where it is an incident that happens to her and her reactions to it. So in that I thought of the kind of emotions she must have gone, the turbulence that she must have faced internally, mentally, and how to still manage the work around her and be the managing partner all the while, and how she would tackle it. So that's the one that I thought of.
Yeah.
And but if you ask me how to apply on it, I really don't know. So I reached till there
Yeah.
in terms of her reactions. That
Yeah.
when it happens to self, however strong we think we are, something like a posh incident,
Yeah.
or to somebody close, it will rattle us and it really takes us off the track, right? So
Yeah.
that was my thoughts.
And
The
that
other one was
is
where
insight.
Mhm.
Yeah. What you just phrased is such a big insight, such a bold message out there, right? When
Yes,
it happens to
yes.
us, it rattles. So that makes the stakeholder realize the value of it. Yeah. That was such a bold statement you made there. Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And the other situation was where, as a managing partner, when she gets to know of a case which has happened internally, and the perpetrator or the respondent is a male who's doing extremely well, and she doesn't want to derail her business. So how does she react on that one? So
Yeah.
two aspects
Yeah.
that I thought of.
Yeah, again, such a good one, right? Like such a dilemma kind of a situation. And it's so
Yes.
easy to understand it because of the series, right? Yes, we know
Right.
Jessica won't let that person go because, yeah, they're getting so
Right.
much of money out of it, right?
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, like how do we make sure still fair things happen in such cases, scenarios?
Right.
Wow, that was
Right.
powerful. Wow, nice.
Thank
How's it making
you.
you feel? Yeah, and so what are the new insights because of this for your offering and customer?
So
Yeah.
So that's exactly where I couldn't really relate back to it in terms of how do I take it in terms of my offerings, how to make it appear or how to present it
Yeah.
going forward. But it could be one thing that I took back today and which I feel is really good is that when I'm actually training and I give this kind of an example, I think it will ring a bell with most people, especially with the
Yeah.
crowd which maybe would be watching this. So similarly, I should be picking up things which could be for a different audience. So
Yeah.
whether it's a Hindi one or an English or age factor wise, it's a Gen Z crowd or a senior crowd. So maybe I should pick that one up. So that's
Yeah.
where I think I can innovate in my training delivery by giving such an example, and I think people would relate to it. But if
Yeah.
you ask me, do I make better my sales game? I am not sure.
Yeah. And but at least listening to you, what's coming to me and others can also chime in what came up for them, right? One is yeah, just the sales game itself. Like you made really powerful statements over there. Anybody reading it, the conclusion you drew out of it, just how it impacts yourself, but also what might be the tricky situations. Like mainly that statement, first statement that you made. I think if you include it in your sales copy and stuff, that's very powerful. And the other thing is, in how could you also innovate your offering, right? So far I've been this posh trainer, but I also understand that within organizations, if these kind of situations happen, what might happen? Like how might things get buried or whatever, right? So what can I include in my offering? What is the other value add, whether it is via training or something else? That could be a package that I could be offering around it. And that's something that
Right.
would require a lot of brainstorming. But again, if you really come up with a solution for that, that'd be such a huge value add. right? And
Yeah,
such an
yeah.
innovative
You're giving me
platform.
ideas.
Yes,
Yeah, I think
yeah,
I can.
yes, and you reached there through your story, so that's so amazing. Yeah,
Right. Yeah.
yeah,
Thanks.
lovely. And Neelam, so good to hear from you. Yes, bye, and have a good day. But yeah, good to hear from you. Awesome. So what I'll do is we still haven't heard from other people. We'll take 5 more minutes. I'll just share another screen. So you can answer this question, like what you realized about your customer and offering, and you can answer this other question also along with it. And it would be like, what is the unmet need that you uncover? What assumption, like any of these questions also is what you can answer. So whoever would like to go. Basically just a deep dive on, okay, now what are you uncovering because of just the story? Like now the real gist of it. How do we apply it kind of a way? Okay, so anybody feel free to raise your hand. I can't see you now. But again, so, those who have already shared, maybe from them, it would be nice to hear. Okay. Yeah.
Deepshika,
Yes, Sneha.
what is the second question mean? What assumption did this challenge?
Like, what are the assumptions you have made about your own offerings, which suddenly like coming out, right? So, for example, for me, I did it for one of my future of X offerings, which is a very speculative design thing, and I imagined Sheldon Cooper as one of the one of the audience over there, and he was asking questions about every single thing. But this offering is not fact based; it's very speculative. So it challenges me, it helped me identify that the assumption I have is like people would be comfortable with the speculative spectrum, while there are a lot of people who want facts, 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 right? So then my story unfolds. How do I adapt to that, right? But it helped me like because that would be a really good audience who are very fact based for this what I offer. But since it's been speculative, yeah, it that's the assumption I had, that oh, people are okay with speculative spectrum. They are not. They may not be. Some of them may not be. And how do I design? Do I want to design for them? Yeah. So that was my assumption. So again, you may have some assumption that it would have challenged. Okay. Awesome.
Okay.
Awesome. Let's hear
Okay.
from. Yeah. Sorry. Yes, Neha.
No. Okay. So may I?
Yes, go.
Okay, so assumption, it's like that. I was thinking, do companies invest in this? They are still open to it because sometimes they have HR department, L&D department, and once HR department and talent acquisition department is there, so they assume mostly the leaders assume that HR and talent acquisition know their game. They know how to hire people. They know everything. So what is the meaning of investing extra into this BEI kind of thing, the BI consulting or BE kind of thing. So this assumption I had, and somewhat I have to look at it. Is it a reality or is it just my assumption?
Yeah, and that may still
I
need
hope.
to be explored, right? Because maybe, yeah, maybe
Right.
HRs definitely do know a lot about their game, right? And of course they do,
Right.
right? So we'll just have to see like,
Right.
is there really a gap or not? And if
Right.
not from HR, then where else it is? Like if HR is not like how, yeah, all of those questions. But yeah, now there are a lot of question marks, right? Yeah, so beautiful. That was nice, Neha. Thank you.
Yeah, it is like then I have to go with fact of the company. Okay, if your HR department and everything is there, then still how much you're losing of wrong hiring. Then you do the calculation. If you are thinking that there is no gap, everything is fine, and this much losing on the hiring is fine, then it's your call. But if you think it can be improved, then definitely we can go with the offering.
Yeah, I would say more research, just understanding what the reality is, would be also good. But you're just asking that question now, right? Beautiful.
Definitely.
Lovely. Awesome. Okay.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Yeah. And I also want to hear from Anjali and Anjali and Shripata also. And then maybe we can wrap up. And yeah, let's hear from them. Like, what were the insights? Okay. I think Anjali is not there. Oh, yeah, Anjali is there. Yes, Anjali, go for it.
Yeah. Mhm. Can I see your screen again,
Oh,
please?
yes. Okay. So it could be either while it's coming. It could be about this thing, about what you realized about your customer or offering, or it could be any of those things, or anything else. Like just whatever else you realized about your offering. Yeah.
What I realized is like about my story. what I was thinking was a B2C model. Okay. But then challenges if we want to attract B2B also for this kind of offering. So I am assuming now, because there would be people like who will need it so that they perform their best in the organization, because it happens like after 10 to 20 years, you again need that revival to start with new energy. So, but then I assume that in future it might come up, but then at present, I feel it is a challenge for B2B.
Yeah. Yeah, what I loved about what you shared, Anjali, was like you identified the moment when they need it, when the need is very crucial, when someone is being so vulnerable in their life, they definitely need it. So all those women who are heartbroken, and you use that word, right? So again, if especially if you're offering it B2C, you can maybe target saying, we don't hear this word heartbroken in the say advertising thing, but maybe if you feel it could be you could be targeting those folks, and it could be the word, or you could be reaching out specifically for those if it was for B2B. But you identified the need when people are actually looking for it. That's when the likelihood of this being sold is very high, and those people are really looking for it, and you have the answer for it, right? And the other thing what you identified is also that then Geet she started training as well. So I don't know your offerings, but if you are already doing B2C, probably then uh, train the trainer for the clients you have already served might also be a need that you could address. Again, that's coming up from your story, but again, then you can sit and think like, oh, do I want to offer those also, like training those people who have already taken my communication things to also become trainers or not, right? And now the question that you are saying that is emerging is basically like, yeah, but how do we do this in B2B? So yeah, I'll let you sit with that question, but I love the points that your story already brought. And again, there are within each story, there are again questions we want to sit with and see, do I want to go this direction or not, or those kind of things. But I loved what your story brought. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks. Okay. Shripada, and then, yeah, Shripada, go for it.
Uh, no, have been not in a position to find out like how and what kind of people would need my help.
Yeah.
How do I find?
Yeah.
So maybe people who seemingly are not in position to take rational decisions are or are mistaken through their behavior. So we kind of ignore many a time. But right now, what I think is instead of they coming here seeking help, I think I should initiate and go and reach out to them. Possibly they don't know that they need it. I don't need the triggers, behavior observations is something that I can appreciate.
Yeah, and what my takeaways from your story, Shripada, is like, one, when you were describing that story, you were in your power state, and right now you are being a little bit of maybe uh, right now, right? You know how powerful it is, right? And also, I love that when you were describing it, you mentioned two frameworks, right? With Kern, you helped him apply this one and this one, right? That one would be very powerful for him. So maybe emphasizing on those frameworks for that particular audience, whoever you're choosing, depending on the audience, like they felt like a lot of conviction that these two things specifically will help him, right? And the other thing was like identifying people, like people who have like this birth kind of like disadvantage from birth, like like the story from an unfair story going on, which they are trying, like those kind of people, how much of an impact something like this could make in their life, where others have not been there for them, right? But this thing can come in, and all of this was coming very powerful from the story, and you were also sharing it with a lot of conviction. And like you said, like let's not underestimate it. The statement that you said that or it could have almost changed history, but if applied for Duryodhana and stuff like that. But yes, it could be like it could change one person's life completely. What you are bringing forward, right? This assertive communication with all the different frameworks you have. So yeah, just tuning in more in that, and I think that was very powerful. So yeah.
I have also made a frame out of it. I'm not able to paste it here. I'll paste it in the group if possible. You can share it.
Yes, that would be amazing. Yes. Okay. With that, everybody, Sneha, Shripada, Gitanjali, all Neelam, all of you who shared, thank you so much. But before that, just one last one. If anybody wanted to share, we started at 11:15, so we are still kind of on time. We are not about time. So if anybody would really, really wanted to share but did not get a chance, feel free to do that. Now's the moment. Otherwise, you can also ping me, DM me if you don't want to share publicly. I would be willing to hear. But all those who shared, thank you so much. It helps others also to understand. And you all went very creative in the first part. It was very creative, funny, and it flowed. And it was unusual things story that you came up with. But then again, the depth of what you're taking away is also amazing. And my question to you, and if you could twing it in the group chat, is like, what is the one action you will implement because of the insights you yourself uncovered today? Because of this exercise, whether you shared here or not, but by doing this exercise and the insights you got, what is the one new action step you'll take? Okay, share it in the main group so that others can also know. And you are also accountable. Yes. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you always for contributing, Sneha.
And
Big, special thanks
yeah.
to you. Yes.
Thank you so much, Dipshika. Sorry, I
No.
joined on time, but I was not able to because I was traveling to my office. I was not able to start my camera and contribute. But somehow, and even it was not pen and paper, it was completely going on in my mind. I was sitting in the bus and I was thinking, okay. So I was at least in active listening mode.
Yeah.
And Dipshika, yes. And I hope I had contributed very well. And really, I like the exercise. And I would like to say, Dipshika, about you. It is third session. I think I'm attending yours. And it is like, I must say about you, what I really like, that it is very difficult to, do the facilitation of reflective exercises. At least it is my view and just my opinion.
Yeah.
Because, doing games and activities, all the things are fine because people are very excited and all the things. But when it comes to the reflective activities, most of the time people are also, denial mode, or they don't want to think.
Yeah.
But making them think and, getting ideas out of them or thoughts out of them is definitely need a different level of skill. And I really like your reflective exercises because, in start, it's like how it will go.
Yeah, it
but
always
at the end, it
has that
looks,
moment.
yeah.
We lose people also around that moment. Like, why is the instruction so clear? Yeah.
Yeah. And at the end, it looks sorted.
Yeah.
So I really I think you literally have very good hands on this, and it is really, very good skill you have. I really admire your skill because reflective exercise facilitation is not easy. It is just as for my opinion, but you did it very well every time because in third session I'm attending and I really liked it very well.
Thank you. And thank you for staying through it throughout to actually see it do its magic towards the end. Thank you.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Let's hear from Preeti. Yes.
Hi, Deepshika.
Yes.
So I'm glad that, this one, Sneha was just sharing that the first few minutes I did not drop off because the first few minutes I sort of wasn't sure what I was doing.
Yes.
And the easier mode was to leave. But then I said, okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Could be another one. Again, I'm creatively challenged, I think. So all the more I don't go into that because I'm more into law, the right thing, the wrong thing. It's very stated, right? It's very clear. There are clear lines drawn in this one.
Yeah.
So that's what I was thinking. My question to you is, have you seen this being applied very often, and what is the success in sales scenarios?
No, I tried to look up for some case studies of which are the companies specifically applying this thing. There wasn't any. So I don't know if you missed the initial part, but just the paper which has proposed this methodology, they talk about Apple fictionally if Apple were to use it. but I
Okay.
haven't seen anybody use it. But this whole methodology, design fiction,
Right.
under which it falls under. So design fiction is basically creating future artifacts. So in
Mm-hmm.
this case, it was just this customer story,
Right.
right?
Right.
And then using that for sense making, right? But design fiction is used by Amazon. It is used by IKEA. It is used by really big
Okay.
in their innovation process. So
Right.
Amazon creates fictional media. Like they
Oh.
call it PR FAQ method. So
Mm-hmm.
they create a PR for any product they are about to, when they haven't even thought of the features or anything. Anybody proposes a new idea, first they
Mm-hmm.
start writing the PR and FAQ, and that goes through lots
Oh.
of iteration. Only when it feels like it is feasible, it makes sense, then they start
Right.
thinking of the features and all those kind of things. So
Oh.
all the products, Amazon products we have seen has gone through PR FAQ. Fictional news, what is the media excited about? What are the customers excited about? What are the questions customers are asking? They write all of that. So that's design
Oh.
fiction. And then IKEA creates like a catalog of products from the future, which they sometimes don't even make in the end.
Right.
But it's about to start having a conversation about, if this happens,
Oh.
if this is the societal trend, if people are becoming very sustainability conscious, what might the products in the future? And then they are ready
Okay.
for it. If that comes, then they can build something exactly similar, but it's more about sparking that dialogue and having that innovation process within them.
Oh,
Yes.
okay, okay,
Yeah.
okay. All right, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks a
Thank
lot,
you.
Deepshika.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I mean, I have to say that you're good. You're like you've got all of us thinking, I should say, and most of us contributing.
Yeah.
So yeah, if I started contributing, you're really, really, really good. I'm
Oh,
usually
thank
the
you.
quiet one out.
Thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
I loved
Very
hearing
awesome.
what you came up with. Yes, that
A
was deep
very,
actually.
very
Yeah.
good
Thank you.
thought-provoking one, I have to say.
And I look
So
forward to
thank
what
you.
happens next when you apply that storytelling in your.
I will. I will. I am just going to put my mind to it and see where else I can, use it. And
Yes,
I'm going to share it with you for
yes,
sure.
I would look
Right.
forward to it. Yes,
Thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you. Shreya, go for it.
Deepshika, needless to say, I always look up to your sessions. Like,
Oh,
seriously, I really look up to your sessions. Like, right from the correct pronunciation, because when I read the word Pastiche, so practically how I read it is pastiche.
oh, it may be the pronunciation. I will have to look up now, Shreya. Oh, yeah. Thank you for
Because
correcting me.
when I read the word pastiche, I'm like, okay, probably I was wrong over here because this pastiche sounds so Italian to me.
It is definitely some language which I'll have to check as
It
well.
it it looks like an Italian dish or Spanish dish name. So that is why like here dish ka name kaise?
It really
But
looks
very
like
allied, huh? Very allied name.
Yeah. Yeah, but I have no
I
contribution to play in the name though. But I'll
yeah.
have to check my pronunciation. Yes. Yeah.
So coming to that, I think when it comes to adult learning,
Hmm.
okay, this is something we really use as facilitators. I mean, I've recently understood the actual difference between a trainer and a facilitator
Hmm.
with the current program which I have done for Infosys.
Hmm.
So I've actually realized what's the difference between a trainer and a facilitator, and I can definitely use these techniques in my own trainings.
Ah,
However,
yeah.
more than my trainings,
Hmm.
I am currently, you have seen me since past 3, 4 months now. I'm currently in a stage of my life, a phase of my life where I am thinking, what is like something I can do hatke
Yeah.
because business communication, spoken English, podcast placements, this has become way too common right now.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, even the demand has gone down. It has dropped drastically.
Ah,
So what is that something like, okay, because you know what happens after a certain point, you're like, okay, are you really into corporate training or not? Do you really wish to go ahead with corporate training or not? So this actually helps you get out of that loop somewhere.
yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm out of this loop as of now. I'm still into that loop. I still need to do a lot of brainstorming that what is something I can
Yeah.
offer.
Such
Because
such an exciting, juicy question, no? Like such full of possibility question.
yeah,
Yeah,
so I
if we land into something which actually is, so that's what we both we were trying to connect, Shreya. We couldn't, but yeah, that's what I want to sit with you, and let's future-proof your offering. Let's sit one-on-one and let's try to come up with something like that would be very relevant for the future ahead, combining all that you already have. So let's
Yeah.
put on that. We'll future-proof proof it. Yes.
Bad when you have a hell lot of potential and then you're just stuck. Okay, what else has to be done?
I think, but that's a good thing. If you are not going ahead with the current things only and already thinking ahead for the what's next and what's exciting, maybe we'll just come up with something. Yeah, I think
True.
it's a good
I
thing
need
to
something more
questioning it.
exciting. I need a
Yeah,
new challenge because
yeah,
I'm done and dusted with communication and soft skills, to be very honest with you.
yes. So we'll come
Yeah,
up
so
with
that
something.
is how it is. But this is something I personally like because this is like a new technique which I have learned
Yes.
because not everyone is even aware about this, something like this really exists.
Yeah,
And it's a fun way of really talking to employees today.
yeah.
Because not, and when it comes to, because this is what I use with my open mic actually, relating myself to characters. So I do a lot of open mic. I mean, just started to be
Really?
very honest. Yeah,
Wow. Which city?
Pune.
Oh shit. Oh wow.
Wow.
So cool. So cool.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Wow.
I do open mic. So this is something I am very good at is like directly connecting to people.
Yeah.
And this is something I do specifically with Bollywood and with fictional characters and something.
I can't wait for your next set. Please
Actually,
tell me when your next set comes out. Yeah.
you can watch it on like my Insta. I'll share my Insta ID with
Oh
you.
yes, please. Yes. Wow.
Definitely. But thank you so much. I really liked it, Deepsika. And let's
Yeah.
just really sit one to one and get this
Yes.
done.
For sure, for sure. And like you said, yeah, this method could be used like just for internal brainstorming as well, right? When we,
True, true.
yeah, lovely. And I've written one book. There's a book called Speculative Everything. If you want to read those, that is about design fiction, and that's like the primer, like where you can start learning more of if you're interested in this methodology as well. Yeah, lovely.
What is it? Speculative?
Speculative Everything. I've written in the chat. Speculative everything or speculative design only that something. Yeah, I think speculative. You'll find it. Yes.
Yes, yes.
It's your book, Deepshika. Like, seriously,
No,
it's your
not
book.
my book, not my book. Of course
Ah.
not. When my book comes, I'll be talking about it every day. Like Asif says, like every day you'll get to know there's a book out there.
Okay, so it is not your book. Okay, I
Not
thought
mine,
your book.
not mine. Yeah, I'll just practice this. This design fiction is a new, I mean, less practiced thing, but somebody else is developing it. I'm just following. I'm just designing and
Oh,
doing it. Yeah, yeah, awesome, cool. Everybody, thank you so much for staying back so far, for putting your trust in it and participating, and thank you so much for making it what it is because it is your
Dipshika, you have taken pic. Have you taken pic?
I've taken one screenshot. Maybe we can take
Then
okay, we can take
you
it out
can take
quickly.
again.
Yes. Everybody. Yeah. Awesome. But thank you again so much. And yeah, look forward to hearing what comes up because of this. Yes. Cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
Even Dipshika, I had one doubt, but I think we can connect
Let's
later
connect
on. No
one-on-one.
worries.
Yes. Yes.
Yep, sure.
Awesome. Bye-bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, Dipshika. Thank you so much for the wonderful session, dear.
Thanks again.